Spread lines on a Monday. Gotta love it here. And by the way, you might look at that college basketball card tonight and say, there's barely any games, but they are giving us, Joe, a nice big Monday here at 7 o'clock and 9 p.m. So why don't we start our spread lines right here with Houston and Kansas from Allen Fieldhouse. Taking a look at the start time for this, 9 o'clock overnight, Joe. -1.5 as a road team favorite for Houston. You wake up this morning, now we're seeing 2.5s across the board as a favorite for the Houston Cougars. The total in this game also on the rise, 135.5 or so. They're now up to 137.5 and as high as 138.5, depending on where you're shopping at. The number one offense in the Big 12 coming to town, that's Houston. The number two defense in the Big 12 coming to town, that is Houston, Joe. Give me a spread line. Houston, Kansas tonight.
Donnie, just to give folks an idea of what's going on here, because the numbers are absurd here. Either Kansas is going to lose 2 straight at Allen Fieldhouse, and Bill Self is going to lose his first ever Big Monday game at Allen Fieldhouse, where, by the way, he is 40-0 at Kansas, or Houston is about to lose 3 straight. A team that before the week had lost a total of 5 games in their time in the Big 12. Neither seems feasible. Can there be a tie, Donnie? Yep. Is there a prop for a tie here? Listen, it's a coin flip, right? Both of these teams seem to be reeling right now. Not embarrassing loss, the worst kind against Cincinnati at home over the weekend for Kansas. Listen, no shame in Houston in losing to Arizona, even at home, but my goodness here, something has got to give between these two teams. You want to talk about a true coin flip? That's what this game is here tonight, Donnie. Which team shows up? It should be a must-watch game here tonight for sure.
I'll tell you what else is must-watch, too. Darren Peterson, does he want to play 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or maybe not even play at all tonight? That's always half the game here, showing up and seeing. He's perfect for the NBA. We don't know if this guy's playing on a day-to-day basis. Make sure you watch right up till game time. And even sometimes at game time, you know what? I'm feeling a little under the weather tonight. I think I'll sit this one out. Always fun. Houston, Kansas. That'll be center stage at 9 p.m. Let's flip it over to the ACC, Joe. 7 o'clock start tonight. That's between Louisville and North Carolina. Overnight, that line sitting at 2.5. Still sitting at most outlets right now, Joe, 2.5. The line that's moving here is the actual total, 160.5 or so. Now seeing it 162.5 across the board. I love matchups like this. Louisville plays with a lot of tempo. Louisville absolutely loves to shoot the three-point shot. And my favorite part about this, a team that is number 1 in shot attempts from three-point range in conference play, going up against a team, Joe, that's 18th at defending the three-point line here. If the three ball goes down, Louisville should overpower them. But Louisville's the road team tonight, Joe. Give me a spread line, Louisville and North Carolina in the ACC.
Well, because we're getting ready to close out the month of February, Donnie, right?
Yeah.
It's crunch time here. And now this game is not that important in terms of the ACC title race. But, Donnie, as you know, the ACC champion, the tournament there, is a little different, right? Because the ACC gives out double byes. And right now you got 5 teams that are 10-4, 10-5, or 9-5, and only 2 of them can get a top 4 seed. So the top 4 seeds get a double bye, and this is the game that is going to decide. Could it be Louisville, or is it going to be North Carolina here? But you're right, Donnie. Forget the side. I'm kind of looking at the total here, and something tells me North Carolina does not defend the 3 all that well. Something tells me there's going to be a ton of points in this game, and that's the way I would focus. I'd look at the total between these two teams.
Let's get you caught up on a Monday here in college basketball. Big weekend overall and 2 really good games tonight. And as I pointed out already, Joe Ranieri, from yesterday, which was Sunday, 3 weeks to Selection Sunday, one of the greatest days here. And away we go into the field of, I don't know, was it 64, 68, 72, soon to be 76? We'll find out if they do expand the tournament in the upcoming years. But St. John's, they've been on a win streak, Joe, on Saturday, easily dispatching of Creighton. 81-52 here, 13 straight wins for the Johnnies, and they'll be facing UConn on Wednesday for a big-time battle in the Big East.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and they got it done once already, right? So there we go. Are they going to be able to do it, sweep the season series here? It's going to be interesting, but they are rolling right now, the Johnnies, and they're doing it at a ridiculous pace. They play physical basketball. It's actually fun. It's classic Pitino basketball, and it's working really well for the Johnnies.
By the way, last week, did you really hamstring that one in there, Joe? You took Creighton getting major points in an upset victory, and the very next night they get dropped by 30 a couple nights later. Good call
Yep.
by you, Joe. Get him at the right time
Yep.
here as it is. And you watched the game on Saturday night, which is perfect timing, Joe. I think it started at 6 o'clock. Duke, 68-63, low scoring over Michigan. That was as good as a game you're going to get from crowd participation on a neutral court. It really felt like Michigan fans were bringing it. Duke fans have a big East Coast bias here. They end up winning that game by 5 points. Great stuff. And by the way, that was number 1 versus number 3, not even in the same conference playing. Those big-time battles we'll tune in for probably got good ratings, and Duke came out ahead, 25-2 now on the season.
It was a great litmus test for both, right? Listen, that game there, as great as it was to see this late in the regular season, it's not really going to make a big difference as far as what happens to these two teams. They're both likely going still to be number 1 seeds come March Madness. But I think it was a good test for both because inevitably they're likely going to face each other in March Madness.
A lot of young superstars in college basketball, man. Great times here and looking forward to that tournament that is going to be coming up here. How about Arizona and Houston? Arizona goes on the road and takes down Houston. 12-2 now, Arizona in the Big 12, 11-3 Houston, a monster game between the number 4 team in the country and the number 2 team in the country, 73-66. Zona gets it done on the road.
Yeah, and Zona pretty much led from the opening tip in that game there. And it was, once again, just a terrible shooting game for Houston there at home. And, now all of a sudden they're reeling here a little bit, and they're going to need to figure some things out. It's not the same stifling defense that they have had that we've come to know over the last couple of seasons with Houston. They still dominate the boards, but the shooting, unfortunately, just it wasn't there, and Arizona was able to take advantage of it.
You thought BYU was dead and buried, losing Richie Saunders. Not so fast. BYU upsets Iowa State, number 6 in the country, 79-69. AJ Dibansa, 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Kid can play, man. He can.
Yeah, and again, what's Iowa State? Like, what version of you was that? That was just absolutely awful here. But give credit to BYU. They handled business, and really it was decided in the first half because they went in with a 9-point lead, BYU, and didn't give up. We know they're a second half team, but you just went down too many points, Iowa State. They didn't have enough to be able to stop BYU in the second half.
Looking forward to tonight's college basketball action. Not a lot of great games on the card. I should have said not a lot of volume, but they did give you 2 good ones. One at 7 o'clock, Joe. One at 9 o'clock tonight. First one up is Louisville and North Carolina in the ACC. Tempo is what Louisville is about. Number 1, an average length of possession on offense, which means they get after it here. How about this? 3-point shooting, about 36% as a team in conference play, going up against the worst defending 3-point team in conference play in the ACC, UNC. Will the 3 balls go down? But also, Louisville is on the road, but a slight favorite over the Tar Heels, -2.5, Joe.
Yeah, UNC would have bounced back against Syracuse on the road. And now they'll be home taking on Louisville. The problem with Louisville and Pat Kelsey is that they're 1-10 against top 25 teams. It's not great. The only team they've beaten, I think, was Clemson last year at home. But and listen, North Carolina still waiting to hopefully get back Caleb Wilson there, their stud. But they are going to they're going to need a big effort. And Louisville, I got to see it to believe it. Like, you got to win one of these games on the road against a tough opponent in a tough environment. Still feels like we're getting a ton of points in this game here tonight, though.
By the way, Michael Brown here, which we were waiting for him to come back, returned against Pittsburgh January 17th, Joe. His last 4 games, 45 points, 29, 29, and 19 here. That kid gets it going here, certainly from 3-point range, can be devastating. By the way, he had one game, Joe, where he scored that 45 points, 10 of 16 from 3-point range. Daggers all over the place. Houston going to take on Kansas tonight. Houston looking for a bounce back, as we just told you, lost to Arizona over the weekend. And Kansas, what did they do versus Cincinnati? Not even show up. Houston is the road favorite at -2.5, Joe. Who do you trust more tonight, Houston or Kansas?
I mean, impossible situation for both, Donnie. If you're a situational handicapper and you're looking like, all right, the chance of Kansas losing 2 in a row at Fog Allen, not to mention Bill Self is undefeated at home when he plays these big Monday games. He's 40-0. But Houston didn't win their last game, Donnie, as we said. They right now have a chance of losing 3 in a row if they don't get it done here tonight. They have only lost 5 games in their entire existence in the Big 12. So you want to talk about 2 terrible situations. Somebody is going to break a record here tonight. I tend to think Houston will get it done here.
I need to see what I'm going to get out of Darren Peterson tonight as well. It's going to be full game dominant. He should be the number 1 player, or you can't trust this guy doesn't want to play anymore, because Houston comes to town in the Big 12 with the most efficient offense and the number 2 most efficient defense here. The one thing they do well, winning basketball, Joe, always starts with protecting the basketball and turning your opponent over. How about this? Houston in conference play, number 1 at protecting the basketball, only 11% turnover rate. But how about defensively? Number 1 in conference play at turning you over at close to 19%. Defense travels, taking care of the basketball is exactly the way you win. Be a fun game to watch tonight. And as we pointed out, not great efforts over the weekend, but particularly Cincinnati going into town and crushing Kansas. How do they bounce back tonight? Well, we'll find out. It is a big Monday.